God has made space for your Rehoboth to come to pass. Somebody say Rehoboth. God has made room for all of us. Can we take it back to the 80s a little bit, everybody? Somebody put your hands on it. Come on, clap with me. There's a new place, say it. There's a new place that's tailor-made for you. That's tailor-made for you. Where God can expand you. It's where He's making room. It's where He's making prosperity and blessings. Prosperity and blessings are there too. Are there too for you. For you and me. For all of us.
There is room. If this was a sermon, I would probably close with a song that would simply say, there is room at the cross for you. Or maybe that there is plenty of good room in God's kingdom. Instead, I'll just leave you with this. He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Now, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make His face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.
I've been asked tonight earlier about the plan and vision and things of that. And I was sharing with one person that if I could have scripted what you see now, I would have never been on target. Because the vision or the thought that came to me never ended up the way it is now. Everything we've done spun out of a need. Once you get one thing secure, something else will happen. And we had to create something else for that, and create something else for that. And that's how we've gotten all the way these 20 years up to development. I was sharing that we were so fortunate when we first started out dealing with the Daughters of Destiny that we advocated to change the RFP so we can classify them as homeless. Who'd ever thought we could do that? But we did. And that made more sense when it came to affordable housing, because a lot of people didn't want to help the people that were really homeless. And so we just took the phrase from the group home, the ladies, the young ladies. You know, they left out of the group homes, foster care, and they had, stipends to live off of, but they were never successful because they got boyfriends who ran through their stuff, or they had places where they couldn't afford, and then they were back on the street, strip clubs or prostitution. We had to find a way to do that. And the Lord just blessed us to get with a team. We was with our dear Sister Stewart, and we worked with an underwriter, and when we came up with our plan, they said, that makes sense. And we were the only ones in the whole institute that were awarded that year. And I thank God for that, because it never would have occurred and morphed into what it is now. So I want to encourage all of you all that don't die with things you could do on the table. Do all you can and maximize your possibilities. It may seem impossible, but maximize your possibilities. God can't help you create His vision if you're bigger than the vision. He has to work miracles for you because you can't do it on your own. We don't have enough people to pay tithes. I don't have enough locations or services to do that. So you have to understand when God gives you something to do, you have to be brave enough to just do it and let the chips fall where they fall. But I know a lot of people think, 5-year plan, 20-year plan. That wasn't even on my mind. I was just trying to think, how can we get this done? And I told my wife, I said, I've done this now. I can't pastor the church and run the CDC at the same time. You got to come off your job. We're going to take a hit, but come off your job. And God's going to provide and make a way. And I outlined to her what he told me and what he showed me. And I've always said this about her, that she's the type of person that you could write something out and never punctuate it because she has all the grammar and the punctuation you need. She's going to put it in proper perspective. Whether there needs to be a colon, she's going to put it there. If you need a comma, she's going to put that there. So I just let it flow and I let her punctuate it. Amen. So she's been such a great worker. She's been very faithful, very diligent, and it's just about came out just the way the Lord said it would. But for as a plan, and I know people think we're that masterful, but I would never lie to you. There was never a plan. It was just trying to see if I could do what he told me. And he's the one that made the room and made it possible. So I want to say to all, you may not ever do what we do, but find your greatness and impact the community. Impact your world. Change your world. And then things around you will begin to change. But I want to thank you all for coming tonight and thank all of our sponsors and thank all of you all, especially the staff and different ones. We just can't say enough. I've been trying to encourage my daughter because they said, this is what we want to do. And I stepped back and I said, run with it. Do it. You guys want to put this on, do it. I think she's done a marvelous job, her and her staff. Amen. She got her feet wet on this one, but I bet we won't have another one for a while because, it's a lot more work than people think. Yeah, it's a lot of work. And if your heart's not in it, circumstances will make you quit. Amen. So as long as your heart's in what you're doing, I guarantee you God will show you who he really is. Amen. So tonight, it was just by faith, and that's all we live is our faith. That's all I have. Amen. And I want everything God got for me on the table. I don't want to die and not go down with, I don't want to empty the chamber. I want everything off the table. I don't know what he's got. I don't know what's going to happen, but I want to experience it all. Yes, because he's that kind of God. He's merciful, he's kind, and he's loving. I want to thank you all for that.
Now, everybody say,